town red. With blood, in case that wasn't clear.
Hey, what's up everybody, this is OurMusicBox and today I want to show you guys a new Zane build that is one of the strongest builds in the game. It is using Zane's new legendary class mod from the first DLC, and this build allows you to solo anything in the game on Mayhem 4, including the Maliwan raid, and it's just overall a really strong build for mobbing or killing bosses. So let's go right into the talents. So we are using Zane's new class mod from DLC 1, Seeing Dead, which just shooting enemies has a chance to activate all of your kill skills, and all of your kill skills have a plus 25% effect bonus. Since we're using this class mod, this dictates a lot of our talent choices, and also our digi-clone can proc this just from shooting stuff as well. I'm pretty sure it has the same chance that you have to proc all these, so you'll have all of your kill skills up for pretty much 100% of the time you're in combat, and this build is focused around having unlimited ammo with rocket launchers. And with the ammo regen that we need for this build, we have to get to the bottom of the double agent tree so our digi-clone can use whatever weapon we're using when we summon them. So first we're using Synchronicity, which gives you damage for both of your action skills. When they're both up, they both give a 20% damage increase. And this build, with how it's built and with what class mod we're using, our action skills will be up a lot of the time. You can actually get to a point where your action skills are almost infinite if you're constantly fighting enemies, but they will be up so much longer, even if they do go down, than they're normally supposed to be up for. So next we have plus 25% magazine size for you and your digi-clone, which is very good. You do need a certain amount of magazine size because we are using Scourge rocket launchers, and with these they consume 4 ammo per shot, so you need to have at least 5 ammo, because with 5 ammo you're able to shoot 2 shots before reloading. So you're definitely going to want to have this, especially if you don't have any other magazine increasing rolls on your items. Then we have Donnybrook, which gives you and your digi-clone increased gun damage and health regen, and this stacks twice. So this is a massive increase. Now this is 8 out of 5 because of our class mod, but even 5 out of 5 is still massive. This is an extremely strong talent. 3 and 2 duct tape mod, which just gives you a chance to randomly shoot a grenade from the first shot of your weapons. Now this next talent is actually really important because your action skills stay up so long, or you can have them stay up so long. This is whenever you swap spaces with your clone, your shield immediately begins recharging, and you heal up to 50% of the max HP of your clone. That's super important, especially when you're doing, say, the Maliwan raid. Your clone can die pretty quickly if you're not constantly switching places with it and healing it. So you definitely want to keep your clone up as much as possible, because your clone is also what's going to be giving you damage in this build. It's going to be doing good damage itself, and it's going to be giving you just damage buffs just for having it out. Then we have 1 in a pocket full of grenades, which is another kill skill. Stacked twice, gives you 60% when stacked twice of your or grenade regeneration per second. This will be up all the time. The main reason we're using that is because of boom enhance. So you always want to have enough grenades to be able to get the most out of that. Then we have Supersonic Man. Your action skills give you movement speed increase for any ones up, so 2 of them is 24%. Also, all the numbers the kill skills are showing on the actual talents themselves. This one is a kill skill, but any of the kill skill stuff, the actual numbers it's showing are actually higher because of our class mod effect increase and another talent. So all of these are actually stronger than they're actually showing. So then we have Boom Enhance. When you summon your digi-clone, you can use up to 3 grenades to massively buff it with pretty much everything: gun damage, max health, fire rate, reload speed, duration. And this is why we're using pocket full of grenades, so we can always use up to 3 grenades, or so we can always use those 3 grenades to massively buff our digi-clone. Then Trick of the Light, you deal bonus cryo damage to enemies that aren't targeting you, and with the augments you're using for our digi-clone, it kind of minorly taunts enemies, so this will do some extra damage as well. Then we have double barrel is the main thing we need. Your clone, when you swap places with your clone, you gain increased damage, or you both gain increased damage. And then whatever weapon you're using when you summon your clone is what weapon it will be using, which is the main thing we need. For augments, using this one that I'm not going to try to pronounce, whenever your clone takes damage, Zane's shield is restored for a portion of that damage. Then which one's real? When you summon your clone, it basically makes enemies more likely to attack the clone. So it's like a minor taunt. It's not a full taunt, but it's still going to do relatively the same thing. And this is also after swapping places, so you can constantly keep this up. So the next tree is Hitman to get a bunch more kill skills. So first, violent speed. It's a kill skill that stacks twice, gives you 30% movement speed increase, so 60%, and it's actually more than that. And this will be up all the time. This helps a lot because we have violent momentum. You gain increased gun damage while moving, which is 20% at default move speed. So we're getting a ton of movement speed increases with this, so that's going to be much higher because it's 20% at default walk speed. So you're going to be getting a ton of damage increase just from moving around pretty quickly. 5 to 5 in a cool hand. This gives you a reload speed increase and then more reload speed increase as a kill skill that is double. So just that double is 46%. It's actually more than that, but 46 on the card. This is really important because we are using rocket launchers that you go through the ammo quickly and you have to reload a lot. So having really fast reload speed massively increases your damage. We have 2 into Salvation, which is another kill skill. It's Lifesteal. 2 into this is 6% on the card. It's a bit higher than that. And I think that's really all you need, especially with what weapons we're using. Pretty much hitting anything with the weapons we're using is going to do so much damage that it just heals majority of your HP. So you could probably even go to 1 with this if you want to. But I feel like 2 is the safer amount, and it's probably what you want to go for. Then we have Death Follows Close, which is another kill skill bonus effect increase. So this is 25% on this, 25% on our class mod. That's why all of our kill skills are stronger than what they actually show in the talent. And then their duration is increased by 7 seconds, which also helps to be able to keep them up 100% of the time. Then we have 4 into Playing Dirty. How much is actually into this? So we have 2 into Playing Dirty, which gives us a 60% chance of firing just a projectile after our kill skill is procced. So this procs as well. Every time our class mod procs our kill skills, this will proc 5 shots of this. So even though it's only 60%, it actually is always up. So you have a lot of chances to constantly shoot extra projectiles. The reason we're not going any into violence is because I was testing with this, and with how fast our reload speed is, you'll run out of ammo really, really quickly, even with your digi-clone up. And if your digi-clone is ever down, you just run out of ammo super quickly. And I think putting the rest into Playing Dirty is a better damage increase. Now this is super important. This is Good Misfortune. So it's a kill skill. Whenever you kill an enemy or proc this with our class mod, it increases your action skill duration. It has diminishing returns, but as you'll see with how much we're proccing killing enemies and how much our new class mod procs, your action abilities are up all of the time. You'll see in some of the footage, you could just keep them up almost indefinitely if you're just constantly fighting big groups of enemies or just getting a lot of kill skill procs from your class mod. Now, our second ability, we are using the drone. Now, you can actually use the barrier if you want to. I just think it's a bit clunky and we don't have augments for it. So our augments are Bad Dose and Static Field just for some buffs on ourselves and some shield healing for ourselves and some shield depletion for enemies. So let's go into the gear now. So there's only a few items you need to get infinite ammo with this build, because once you go into the double barrel talent for your digi-clone, whatever weapon you have currently equipped, when you summon the digi-clone as the weapon it will use for its entire duration. So we're going to be using a face puncher. I'd recommend getting a redundant face puncher. It doesn't matter if there's any anointed on it, because that'll double the pellets from 7 to 14, just increasing the damage a bit. And Also, your digi-clone will take whatever artifact you have. So we're using the cut purse artifact, which when you deal melee damage, it replenishes the ammo. It's 8% on a melee attack, but a face puncher, every pellet is considered a melee attack. So once you have a rocket launcher out and your digi-clone is shooting things with its face puncher, it'll pretty much fill up all of your rocket ammo every single hit, because rockets don't hold a ton of ammo overall. So this will pretty much give you infinite ammo. The only time you could ever run out of ammo is the small window when your digi-clone is down and the cooldown's coming back up. And most of the time it's not that long, so most of the time you won't even fully run out of ammo when your digi-clone is down anyway. So that's how you're going to be keeping your ammo up. Pretty much every time you want to summon a digi-clone, you're going to switch your face puncher, summon it, switch back to your rocket launcher, and just spam out rockets with pretty much infinite ammo. Even though you do have to reload, it's just infinite overall ammo. And that's pretty much all you're using for that. Past that, you can use a bunch of different rocket launchers for this build. You can use lumps, you can use these scourges, you can use the new rocket launcher, the ion cannon. I want to go with the scourge for this build because I think the last two videos I did, or last two builds, we're using the ion cannons, and I'm probably going to be making more with that. So I wanted to do one that was a bit better, a bit different, I guess, so you don't all have to use the same rocket launcher. And I think the scourge is much better for this build, just because you can shoot so many out, and it helps a lot for mobbing, because how the scourge rocket works, basically you shoot out a big rocket that then generates smaller rockets around it that will track to enemies. So it's much easier for mobbing, and it has a decent fire rate, so that infinite ammo you have, you can cycle through a lot of ammo much quicker than you'd be able to with the ion cannon or the lump. And both of these I have. The best anointing you're going to get is swapping places with your digi-clone, increase your weapon damage by 130% for a short time. You can essentially have this up all of the time, because you can swap with your digi-clone all the time, like every couple seconds you can do it. So you're able to have this up all the time as you want. The only two I'm using right now are a cryo and an electric. If you don't know, cryo does more damage to armor, it does normal damage to everything else but shields, so that's why I have the electric one against shielding. And you can get different scourges, different elemental scourges, but I just use these two. It's much easier just to have two to switch between. For the shield I'm using a transformer right now. It has cryo damage on it. You can use whatever tanky shield you want. The only thing you're really going to want is on action skill end. And even with that, you don't necessarily need that, because how this build works, sometimes your action skills don't end very frequently, so you're not even going to make a ton of use of a lot of these anointeds. But if you want, I guess, the best possible, it'd be these anointeds. Now I'm using a transformer because it has a 40% chance to absorb bullets, adding them to your ammo count. And with these rocket launchers, if it adds one ammo back, you can do an additional full shot with full damage without having to reload, with it only using one ammo instead of 4. So that'll add quite a bit of damage once that does happen, sometimes, because you do get shot a lot. But it does happen sometimes, and it's a super tanky shield anyway. For the grenade, again, I'm just using it for the anointed. You don't really throw grenades. If you don't care about the anointed because it doesn't go off as much, you can just use whatever grenade you think is strong, because you will randomly shoot off grenades from our duct tape mod talent. So that is pretty much the entire build. It's a really good build, especially with this new class mod. I've done a build pretty much doing a very similar version of this build before the DLC one was out, but this class mod makes it so much more consistent and makes it so much stronger having all those class mods up. You have all this speed, you have all this damage, super high health regen, all that type of stuff. So just super strong all around. So subscribe if you want to see more Borderlands 3 content. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this build. If you guys have any questions about where to farm any of these items, leave all that stuff in the comments. I'll try to reply to everybody. And thanks for watching.
That man is dangerous! Get him!
Upstairs there's an elevator down to the lower levels. Make your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance. I'm counting on you, Vault Hunter.
This place is supposed to be secure! Let's clear out these rats! What the hell? Vault Hunters? Vault Hunter at the front gate! Keep them away from the facility!
No, not me! Shoot him!